Welcome back to Story Time with Teacher Julian. Today I have a book. Charlie Anderson. Yes, we're rereading it today, and I have a special treat to go along with the book Charlie Anderson. I have my cat, Charlie. His name is not Anderson, but it is Charlie. Oh. And he is here for our reading today. He likes to sit in the sun while I'm reading the book to him. Right, Charlie? Okay. So you remember our story, Charlie Anderson? It's a story about a little cat, and he has two homes with two different families, just like the two little girls, Sarah and Elizabeth. They have two families and two homes that they live in. So you remember where he stays during the day and where he stays at night, and who gets to keep the cat. That's a very important part of this, of what's going on. So let's get started. Charlie Anderson by Barbara Abercrombie and illustrated by Mark Graham. That means he drew all the pictures. Charlie Anderson. There is that little cat walking inside. Charlie Anderson. There he is again, looking down from perched on top of something. One cold night, a cat walked out of the woods, up the steps, and across the deck, and into the house where Elizabeth and Sarah lived. There are the steps, and this part right here, this is called the deck. Oh, Charlie wants to see what it looks like too. See that, Charlie? This is the deck. Some people call that a patio. He curled up next to the fireplace to get warm. He watched the 6 o'clock news. Did you watch the 6 o'clock news, Charlie? He watched the 6 o'clock news on TV. And there's Charlie on top of the TV. He tasted their dinner, and he tried out their beds. There he is. Which bed do you think he liked? My friend Charlie likes to lay down where it's sunny and warm. He decided to stay, and the girls named him Charlie. Every morning, Charlie disappeared into the woods again. There he goes. Remember disappearing? You remember what that means? That means when he walked into the woods, they couldn't see him anymore. That's disappearing. In the woods, a lot of trees. At night, when he came home, Elizabeth brushed him clean, fed him dinner, and made a space for him at the foot of her bed. The foot of the bed means that it's where your feet go. Your head goes where the pillow is, and the foot of the bed is usually the bottom where your feet are. He liked Elizabeth's bed the best. Sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night and hear him purring in the dark. Everybody stop and purr. Can you purr for me? Hey Charlie, can you purr for me? Very good. You a good boy, Charlie. Sarah called him baby and dressed him up in doll clothes. I call my friend Charlie, I call him Chuck, or Charles Chuckington III. When it snowed, Elizabeth and Sarah's mother heated Charlie's milk before he left for the woods. He grew fatter and fatter, and every day he purred louder and louder. On weekends, the girls stayed with their father and stepmother in the city. They wanted to bring Charlie with them, but their mother said he'd missed the woods. Charlie's a country cat, she told them. And remember that country cats live out on farms and in the wood. That's what Mommy's telling them. Likes to be outdoors. One stormy night, Charlie didn't come home. Elizabeth and Sarah stayed out on the deck and called his name. But no Charlie. Where was he? Why wouldn't he come out of the woods? Was he all right? On a stormy night means it could be raining and a lot of wind. Or maybe it's very cold. Or maybe all of those together. So they're with their raincoat and a flashlight. And you can see, look at her hair, how it's blowing. They're worried, afraid for Charlie to make sure he's okay. Can you try giving a call for Charlie to see if he'll come inside? Charlie! Charlie! We'll see. All night long, Elizabeth listened to the rain beating on the roof and the wind rattling the windows. Was it cold? Was he hurt? Where was Charlie? Oh, there's Charlie. And remember the rattling windows? They're shaking because of the wind. Charlie. In the morning, Elizabeth and Sarah looked for him. They asked the lady down the road if she'd seen their cat. She said no and offered them cookies, but they were too worried to eat anything, even her chocolate chip cookies. They went to the new house on the other side of the woods. Have you seen our cat? They asked. His name is Charlie, and he's very fat and has gray striped fur. We have a cat with gray striped fur, said the man. But his name's not Charlie. It's Anderson. He's upstairs, asleep on our bed. They heard a meow, and down the stairs came a very fat cat with gray striped fur. Charlie, said Sarah and Elizabeth. No, that's Anderson, said the woman. We've had him for 7 years, right? He looked at her and began to purr. But it's Charlie, said Sarah. He looked at her and purred louder. Is he ever here at night? Elizabeth asked. Anderson is a hunter, said the man. He prowls the woods at night. That means he's looking for things at night. Charlie sleeps in my bed at night, Elizabeth said. He leaves for the woods after breakfast. Anderson comes home at breakfast time, said the woman. And he leaves right after dinner. They all looked at the cat. He sat at their feet, very happy and very fat. They call him Charlie Anderson now. Sounds like a very smart cat to me. Sometimes in bed at night, Elizabeth asked him, Who do you love best, Charlie Anderson? And she could hear him purring in the dark. just like Elizabeth and Sarah, Charlie has 2 houses, 2 beds, 2 families who love him. He's a lucky cat. Remember? Charlie, there's Charlie looking in the mirror. There's the 2 girls with one family, the mommy, and the 2 girls with the daddy in another family. The end. Charlie Anderson. All right. So we know that Charlie stays with the girls at night and with the other family during the day. Do you have any cats? Do you know where they are during the day and where they are at night? My friend Charlie, he likes to take off, and we don't see him until he gets hungry or thirsty, and then he comes back in the house looking for food and looking for water. All right, my friends. So remember, take care of your animals, all your pets, your cats, dogs, hamsters, chicken, roosters, snakes, lizards, whatever. Take care of them, feed them, give them love, give them water. It's Teacher Julian saying goodbye.